And single shines the triple sun. What was sundered and undone shall be whole. The two make one. By Gelfling hand, or else by none. By Gelfling hand? Do you know what that means, Kira?
Wait. This is a piece of the dark crystal.
Then that's what my master meant.
Yes.
Peace, peace. Now the vibe break. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now. And, with this subject matter, want to step into it, making sure that I speak on it, very accurately. I've been trying to, ignore this message, or not say ignore it, but, it's like I was brushing it off as, man, that's just me going into that energy, you know what I'm saying? And, sometimes you got to be aware of that. Like some stuff you just have to leave alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, like the only reason why certain things show up in our experience is because we're still entertaining it, you know what I'm saying? And with this subject matter, it's like I felt like, oh man, I'm not trying to entertain that on that level, but I kept getting the sense of, especially, being somebody from my bodysuit, you know what I'm saying, chose to incarnate in Louisiana, you know what I'm saying, in a space where a lot of, when we talk about, the Santeria, voodoo energy, you know what I'm saying, it's very prominent in Louisiana, almost more than any other, you know what I'm saying, state in the United States, you know what I'm saying? When you think about, like, anytime they bring up voodoo and stuff like that, it's always a reference to Louisiana, and I feel like, a lot of beings are releasing, karmic ties and karmic energies in connection with that energy. And so, I wanted to share, basically, just certain aspects of, transmuting that energy and, in essence, protecting yourself from that energy. But again, like, bringing into the realization, that protection is more so about knowing yourself to the fullest, more than it's about, wearing a piece of tourmaline and trying to cast a spell on somebody. Because, how it came to me is like the ratchet, witching and warlock energy is being transmuted, you know what I'm saying? And when I say ratchet, you know what I'm saying, like that energy of, just like with anything, in the hood, you know what I'm saying, it's like people want to cling on to these identities because it's cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, here it is where a person might know or sense that drug dealing, or selling crack ain't the best thing, you know what I'm saying? But, they still, it's like an addiction. It's like, even though I could see that it's causing harm, I'm going to find rational ways to, make myself feel good, like, hey, well, at least I'm doing this, at least I'm doing that, like, rationalizing ways to make it, be perceived as something that isn't harmful, in which everything does have a positive and negative to it. But, in the deeper sense, the neighborhood would benefit if a person was, selling things a lot more healthier than, crack, you know what I'm saying? Just the bottom line. But, with that, again, it's like that addiction, you think of, that energy of money making Mitch from, Paid in Full. It's like, man, the game, it's like, because again, that goes back to the ego, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people identify with certain things so much, it's like, I'm dead without it, like I'm dead without it, B, like all I know is the game, you know what I'm saying? It's like Magic or one of them retiring too early, you know what I'm saying? I forgot, I'm paraphrasing, but how Mitch was running it about, like, leaving the dope game in essence, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel, for some beings, especially, again, like beings who might have that strong connection, with Louisiana and beyond. But I feel like it's more of a, like, Louisiana / the last recent years, more than the ancient connections of voodoo and Santeria, you know what I'm saying? But, realizing, like, again, we getting into a space where we realize, like, knowing ourselves is the protection. And dealing with external influences, someone can try to project their thoughts, emotions, words, spells, etc. onto you, and it can be felt. So this is the truth to it. Yes, you could feel somebody, again, like thoughts, emotions, words towards you, can be felt. But just because it's felt doesn't mean that it has control over you. So again, it could be felt by you, but the more experienced you are with knowing your own vibration and who you are as a being, the less it's possible for this external influence to govern or take over. So the more you're aware of yourself, the more I'm aware of that. I normally like to work with rose quartz, and I normally like to meditate in the morning. I normally like to eat vegan food. So when I thought of like, oh, just go eat like 100 Hershey bars just come in, or I thought of, don't go meditate this morning, it's not best for you. You know what I'm saying? Like when those thoughts come in, or when I feel or sense that type of energy, or like I feel something that's like why I feel like I don't want to meditate when I know it's helpful to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, again, like something is felt, but, ultimately your inner awareness of self was like, well, I know where I'm at right now, and I know the energy I'm dealing with. Fuck that shit, I'm going to meditate. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's like knowing ourselves to the fullest and being aware of our body, being aware of mind, body, and soul. Because sometimes the body may be fatigued and telling us to rest, and, has nothing to do, you know what I'm saying, with feeling energies in the environment as much as like the body is like, telling us to rest. But again, you pay attention to that, because if your body telling you to rest only after dealing with certain people, places, or things, or, you know what I'm saying, like, you got to pay attention to the patterns, but again, like whether it's journaling, or you got a strong ass memory where you could just remember the patterns of, what you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? But again, like knowing yourself to the fullest is the protection. Again, the crystals, the protective affirmations, aka protective spells, you know what I'm saying? That helps, but ultimately it's your inner knowing that protects you, you know what I'm saying? Because again, by knowing yourself, when you go into an environment where you could tell, like, all right, this may be draining, this may not be the environment for me, you know yourself, instead of like, oh, I wonder if, because again, the person that might not know themselves wonder like, oh, well, maybe I might be meant to, and it's like, nah, I know what time it is. Let me remove myself from this situation, compared to if you're kind of confused and lacking confidence, in your intuition, in trusting your intuition, aka, that solar plexus energy, or trusting that gut feeling, then that could, throw things off. But again, it's inner work. So yes, the external has an effect, but its influence on you depends on how well you know your own energy. Your experience is relevant to your subconscious mind, or connected to your subconscious mind. If a person believes that the cops is gonna always pull them over, then not only that's the the area that they're gonna be in, they're gonna always seem to drive in areas where cops always seeming to pull people over. They're gonna have conversations with people who are always scared of the cops as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, your subconscious, aligns you with situations. If you feel like you're in a situation that doesn't align, again, you'll be aware, like, all right, this doesn't align, let me Let me remove myself from this situation. Now, if you remove yourself from the situation and this energy keeps popping up, then yeah, it's a message like, all right, something is subtly in your subconscious connected to this that you need to be aware of, to work on. Because, if it keeps coming up, on that, like, to extreme, then it's like, yeah, all right, it's something that I do need to, tap into on that level. But again, your experience is relevant and connected to your subconscious mind. Think of the schoolyard, the brethren, or the clique of brethrens who knew they could get the girl. You know what I'm saying? Or one dude know he could get the girl, he gonna connect with the other brethrens who know they real well with the ladies too, and they like the little lady killer clique, or not. Excuse my diction, because we don't want to even use words like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, 'cause we ain't trying to kill no ladies or no men. But in those terminologies, but still, you know, but again, like subconsciously, they believe in a certain thing. Subconsciously, a person believes that sports is the way they're gonna make it. Another person believes subconsciously the way they're gonna make it is sports. So they end up on the same AAU team or end up in the same places, and again end up with the same conversations. People who believe spells could be casted on them by other people, they're gonna tend to be around others who believe that spells could be casted on, what I'm saying? Because again, yes, spells can be casted, but it's more so through subconscious programming, like in the essence of somebody having to do things that you could kind of like be in like earshot or eye shot of, like, so, more so like, again, like with watching movies and stuff like that, subtle programming from that, or subtle programming from music, you know what I'm saying? You hearing sip this and drink that all the time, and it's like, damn, I feel like drinking a shot of tequila. Or I feel like, what I'm saying? Like, so the spells more so, but it's not from a space of somebody sitting in their room behind the scenes, with a doing this and doing that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, those things could be felt, but ultimately it doesn't, affect how you govern yourself. Again, like the only spells that can affect you on that level, in essence, is the again, like the ones like any type of subconscious programming or social engineering that you pay attention to with your eyes or your ears, and honestly, you could say all the senses possibly, you know what I'm saying? You think about taste and smell, you could be subconsciously programmed by a taste or like a smell or a taste kind of triggers you into a certain space. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's the name of the game with our spiritual practices, is it's healthy spell casting. You know what I'm saying? Like by meditating, you're casting a healthy spell. You know what I'm saying? It's a healthy quote unquote ritual. You know what I'm saying? Because again, a ritual in essence is almost like somewhat like a routine that you use to kind of, conjure up a certain energy. You know what I'm saying? You're conjuring up chi energy in your body. Your ritual is going to be Tai Chi exercises or Tao exercises or breathing exercises. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, because always remembering too, like, this with spells and all this, it's not no super, not say it's not super magical, but again, like, the average Joe is casting spells every day. Like every person's words and thoughts is like a spell in essence, you know what I'm saying? And again, with the constant repetition, certain spells become beliefs locked into the subconscious, you know what I'm saying? And again, this energy right now, I feel like, a lot of people still, because with that energy of like, spell casting. And there's also another way of scapegoating, because again, I don't have to pay attention to inner work or, read books about self-help or, how to be present if, the reason why I'm going through stuff is not because of me. It's because so-and-so casting that spell over there. You know what I'm saying? and then that energy becomes toxic, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, just like the game, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, a lot of souls that incarnated in that Louisiana area, you know, that's just so used to that game, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's hard, you know, to lead a game when you come across a little book and you get your little sage, and you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, bro. Literally, because you know what I'm saying? I think of like, you know, like a dope boy, you know, having his fly, getting his white tea from the corner store, you know what I'm saying? Like his styrofoam cup, you know what I'm saying? Like that's his little magical tools to tap into that, you know, that dimension, you know what I'm saying? And that does excite us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just like whether healthy or unhealthy, you know what I'm saying? Those little relics, you know, it has that nostalgia to it, you know what I'm saying? But again, some of these relics may be sparking a toxic nostalgia, you know what I'm saying? In essence of clinging on to this, again, way of, you know, trying to back and forth spell energy. And again, like with the power of now, you know what I'm saying? The pain body, you know, is looking for more pain, is looking for somebody to fight with, you know, hence why, you know, anytime you ever do this in your life, it is 100% foolproof that whenever somebody is trying to get you to argue or trying to get you to be back and forth with them, if you ignore that notion for them to go back and forth with them, bro, they get drove. Whether they get mad on a passive aggressive level where it's hard to see, like where they try to disguise their anger, it doesn't matter. If the person intentions was to like get you in the back and forth, you know what I'm saying, energetically, or fussing, or you're right, I'm wrong type of energy, then when you like defer, like, you know, first the anger comes up, and then most likely if that person is real adamant about getting that energy, you know, getting that energy fed in essence, they're gonna try to bring up something else that's gonna create well, you know, I used to always joke about like with the sports thing, you know, like, oh, well, you know, Allen Iverson is the best to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you say statements that you know, like you say a statement that is obviously not necessarily absolute. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be debatable. Who's the best basketball player? So they say that like, oh, Allen Iverson the best player, knowing that, you know, yeah, that's gonna provoke this person to want to, you know, say another player. You know what I'm saying? But again, just speaking to that energy of the pain body, and especially in an argumentative or like going back and forth energy. And again, like that's that pain body of, you know, all those incarnations are within this lifetime dealing with, you know, again, like the little spell casting back and forth and being addicted to that nature, you know what I'm saying? But again, there's more than enough of evidence that we are the creators of our reality. Hence why when you first start your growth, you know, you remove yourself from certain people, places, and things, and you start programming your subconscious. So if you could program your subconscious to, you know and shift in these other ways, then what's the problem with knowing that, hey, ultimately, you know, my protection is getting to know myself, you know, better. You know, my protection is my unconditional love with discernment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my protection, not necessarily, like, again, like looking to cast spells back and forth with somebody, or to try to blame my actions, you know, like, oh, my actions is like this because of them. Because again, yes, our environment does have effects. You know, when we talk about past narcissist relationships where you might pick up on those vibes from being around that energy, but at the end of the day, you got to hold yourself accountable to say, you know, whatever is worth, you know, like your energy put you in that space, you know, like you went to that person, place, or thing for whatever it was worth, you know what I'm saying? Again, if we're going to speak on a space as a being, speak on the energy of like, hey, I chose to incarnate into this family, I chose this experience, you know, but then in this case, you know, no, it's them, you know what I'm saying? It's like having to align that, and you know, of course, depending on, you know, your karmic ties with that energy, you know, it could be tough to tap into that, you know what I'm saying? That energy could be very, very triggering, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, being triggered into thinking like, oh damn, man, they doing something to me, man. I gotta protect myself from them on some, like, you know what I'm saying, shit that'll cause you to be, again, like toxic and back and forth. And as I'm bringing up this, we'll get to this soon. I just want to finish full circle, just explaining, again, uh, the situation as a whole, and then the solution. Again, it's like knowing ourselves to the fullest. And again, the proof is in the pudding of seeing that our experience is a reflection of our subconscious. Again, the people who know that they ain't having to be back and forth. Like, say for instance, is a Zen, and not saying you have to be a Zen monk. This is not my example. That's not what I'm saying here. But like, do you think like a Zen monk is constantly having conversations about, casting spells back and forth? Like, no, like, because his internal vibration, the frequency he's vibrating attracts his experience. And if, him or her, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not talking, or should I say, if you're not vibrating on that frequency, then that's not going to always show up in this experience, And again, it's like the accountability to know, like, all right, if this is showing up in my experience, in some way, form, or fashion, again, like I'm being shown something, whether it's to transmute, if I got to deep dive and transmute inner work, or it's just simply telling me, like, all right, this doesn't align. All I got to simply do is just remove myself from, that experience. But, again, it's a inner work. So again, it's like protecting your mind, from the subconscious programming through subtleties, subtle actions, or again, like certain things subtly that you're observing with all your senses. But the main two senses, I would say, is the eyes and the ears, you know what I'm saying, with the subconscious programming. But, the smell and taste, in that sense, will go into it too. And with dealing with this energy, you could protect yourself from, basically protecting yourself by practices that allow for you to, bring things more inward, and to have you in an energetic space where that type of energy, like you won't even, it can't even cling to your aura, you know what I'm saying, in essence, because you're vibrating on a frequency that doesn't even allow for you to even, again, entertain it on that level. But one of the main things in my experience is my breathing exercises, or you could say like the whole experience of for sure, pranayama breathing, very, very protective, like, deep inhale with the nose, exhale with the nose. Again, inhale, stomach coming out, exhale, stomach going in, and then adding a microcosmic orbit to it. So when you inhale, seeing the energy move from your root up your spine to the top of the crown. And then when you exhale, see that energy go back down, but in front of your body, like, and, having your tongue connecting the front, going back down to the root. But that, again, like amazing results, you know what I'm saying, with the microcosmic orbit and pranayama breathing, yoga exercises, and even the Tao exercises, you know what I'm saying, certain breathing techniques and certain exercises where you're bringing chi into a certain area, And if you're interested in the Tao exercises, Mantak Chia, Mantak, Chia, Chia. Most of his books are great when it comes to, tapping into Tao exercises if you're interested. You know what I'm saying? Just look him up and you'll see a bunch of his books. That'd be great for tapping in with that. And again, it just puts yourself in an energetic space. Because, like, I think of, like, so for Tao exercises, one of them is doing the inner smile to all your organs. So every morning I'm smiling to my liver, my lungs, my heart, you know what I'm saying? And by doing that, it makes it tough for some type of, like, toxic energy to kind of like be able to grasp, because you know you're vibrating on such a frequency where there's no area for it to kind of lodge itself into, you know what I'm saying? So in essence, you know, again, those exercises is like, you know, one of the top things I find myself, and again, like where you genuinely, you know, it's not on no fake shit like I'm gonna try to act like these things don't affect me. It's like, nah, like literally, like I'm unaffected by, you know, certain you know, toxic tactics or energies, you know what I'm saying? So another aspect of protection, you know, would be, you know, working with the crystals. But again, it works on your inner energy, you know what I'm saying? And Pneumite and Serpentine are like two top crystals, you know, for protecting your energy field. You know, they're high in magnesium. And so that's going to help the nervous system to not be so overwhelmed by energetic surges, you know. Because literally, you know what I'm saying, we do have the ability to kind of, you know, we done been in certain energy fields, you know, or been around certain people, and we could feel, you know, again, like energies, you know, bouncing around in the area, you know what I'm saying? So the Pneumite and Serpentine helps for you to not be so sensitive, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, the electricity in the area, you know what I'm saying? And to some extent, you know, again, like that would be the thoughts, you know, because the thoughts in essence is connected with that electrical energy. But, you know, when we think about, you know, the brain synapses and how, you know, the neurons firing off with electricity, you know, that's all connected. But again, like to dampen the effects of, you know, certain influences on the nervous system, Pneumite and Serpentine. Also, some top crystals for protection on this level: sapphire, either blue sapphire, black sapphire, and shujalite. You know what I'm saying? Real great for, you know, like help with mental and emotional manipulation. Again, it's not necessarily protecting; it's helping you to get to know yourself better. Like it's clearing you to allow for you to get a stronger sense of self. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, you know, I wear this and now I still be the same old person with the same old perspective, but now I'm protected. Like, no, you know, the crystals are, you know, not only helping energetic, you know, just, you know, physically with the body or energetically on that level, but it's also, you know, promoting a certain, you know, perception and a certain awareness internally, you know what I'm saying, that's creating a protection. Again, you know, when you're working with, like, say, for instance, fire agate is another one. You know, fire agate is a protective crystal. But what it's doing is it's grounding you in your sense of self, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're so strongly grounded that no matter what goes on in your environment, you handle it with poise, you know, and with courage, you know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily like, oh, it's just a protective. I mean, yeah, it does, you know, because everything that vibrates has an aura, so some type of, you know, some type of energy field around it in essence. But, you know, again, it's like more so the effects of how it works with us internally. And also Libyan desert glass, you know, because it strongly works with the solar plexus. And again, a lot of energetic, you know, attachments and things of this nature may come in at the solar plexus area. So, you know, being aware of that. So, you know, that's some of the main crystals to work with as far as protection. Then also another form of protection is just basically not getting pulled into the spell for spell energy or the back and forth energy in general with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I call it the duck season, rabbit season energy, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like not getting caught up in the, you know, you're wrong and I'm right energy. Whenever we're in that energy, is automatically, you know, again, the toxic aspect to the ego, you know, it's like, oh, you're wrong, I'm right, you know. Like, you know, again, by being pulled into that energy, you know, again, it's like, you know, you're participating, you know, compared to like if you, like, you know, somebody say something or does something where it's to kind of bring you into that argument, but you don't engage, you know what I'm saying? So again, you stay in that energetic state, you know what I'm saying? You stay, you know, in essence protected, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's your inner knowing. You gotta know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, again, cast no spell on nobody. Because again, if somebody being toxic, somebody constantly spitting, you know, like again, like of course you protect yourself, but again, it's like, you know, you don't fight fire with fire, you fight fire with water, you know what I'm saying? Fire with fire, you burn everything down, you know what I'm saying? Fire with water, you could extinguish the flame, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, keeping that in mind, that the elements, you know, that the story is in, you know what I'm saying? But again, just making sure you don't engage in that particular situation. And also knowing that you know, like with spell work and stuff like that, knowing that it can only affect you if you believe it can. So, you know, if you believe that, you know, oh man, when people do these spells, it could happen, you know. And again, like that, at the you know, that's the red flag of somebody trying to possibly, you know, program you into that energy, is like them constantly trying to, you know, fear monger you about like spells and stuff like that. Because again, you don't need to be fear mongered in order to be aware of something. So if again a fear monger and energy about anything, you know, like our source, our inner being talks to us in a way to inspire us to be courageous towards certain things, not to be afraid of anything. So, you know, if that, you know, again, like if that voice don't work inside, then why should we accept it externally? You know what I'm saying? Like if my inner being doesn't promote courage with words in that manner internally, then why would I think that it's gonna come externally that matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's our inner being could be stern and straightforward, you know what I'm saying? It may have like a little oomph to the message, like a little, you know what I'm saying, a little strongness, but it's definitely, again, it's all out of love, and it's all out of to pick you up. It's going to be in a perspective that's not trying to, you know, like, ooh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not trying to subtly, but passively, aggressively make you afraid of anything, you know what I'm saying? And again, and with the whole little, again, it could only, you know, with the whole aspect of like, oh, the spells and stuff like that, you know, only if you believe that it can happen. You know what I'm saying? You got to be real with yourself. You know, if you do feel you subtly do believe in it, you know, again, you got to practice, you know, study the insight and information that shows how, you know, how you can, you know, again, how it is about your perception. Like, again, your experiences due to your subconscious programming. You know what I'm saying? So program your subconscious instead of letting somebody else do it for you. You know what I'm saying? And again, knowing that it can only affect you if you believe it, that's a form of protection. So again, like knowing not to believe in the fact, oh, a spell could harm me on that level. You know what I'm saying? But then also, now this is or should I say, this is a way that it could affect you. But again, it's back to, what's funny is, you know, it's like a lack of self-awareness or a lack of just awareness, you know what I'm saying, in general. But another way that a spell may work on people, you know what I'm saying, but at this point, most people watch this channel are aware of this. But, you know, just to put it out there in case a newcomer is watching this video, you know what I'm saying, but like, say for instance, if you don't know how to prevent yourself from, you know, from falling victim to programming, you know, then a program will work on you. AKA, like, say for instance, when I'm watching a movie, I know that there's subtle programming in it, so I'm aware to observe my behavior very closely, you know, after watching that movie, let's just say, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that I'm not subtly programmed by certain things that were in that movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, watching an apocalypse movie and then, you know, observing my energy to make sure that I'm not like getting into all like, oh, let me go, you know, the world about to end, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, being aware of of how programs work with, again, like what you watching and what you hearing. So, you know what I'm saying? So in so many words, like being aware to self-check yourself with these things, but a lack of awareness to self-check yourself, then yeah, you could possibly be under, again, a spell in some way. But again, it's like more so a spell casted that's, again, like through you hearing it or seeing it, not just somebody in a back room. Because again, everybody would be, and this is another example before I even finish, everybody would all be fucked. Or what would be the point if you come into a world where everybody else controls you first and foremost? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I'm here, but I'm controlled by everybody else. Everybody else has more power over my actions than me. You know what I'm saying? Or this one particular person, because they learned about magic, now has the complete power over me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's only allowed. Again, like the only reason why the government, govern your mental, was able to, again, establish these things, because it was, again, subtle subconscious programming and repetition, social engineering in the environment. But even still, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us became aware to not fall for that spell. And that's another reason why, again, like using spell work as an excuse, because look at our spiritual work. Our whole body of spiritual work is breaking spells. So don't come here and tell me about like, oh, a spell is like that, strong, or you know what I'm saying, like the energy of, spell casting, I can't control myself to that extent. It's like, you know almost every moment, or most of our spiritual practices is helping us break, out of, certain spells, you know what I'm saying, that's coming to us from the external, So again, to make it about like that whole energy, no, again, it's inner awareness. Because again, that means that everybody would have the power, like how anybody starting a business or doing anything if everybody outside you controls you first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's interconnected. Yes, we do have, like our energy is interconnected and have, can influence, you know what I'm saying, each other in essence. But, again, like that influence, is due to how much we're aware of ourselves, again, whether, allowing ourselves to be influenced by a lack of awareness in essence. But, again, that example by itself, like, so almost that means everybody doing something because of everybody outside of them, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we are in it, like, how we feel energies of the collective sometimes, like I could feel like if everybody, like I could feel that energy of like, oh, everybody thinking about the coronavirus and shit, you know what I'm saying? And again, like that's the thing, again, that's what started. It can be felt, but it's your ground, and that's why grounding crystals are the major promoted, protective crystals as well. Because again, when you're grounded in your sense of self, when that, damn, like the corona, like why the coronavirus coming up? Like why I feel like a little edge of nervousness, you know what I'm saying? Like again, it can be felt, but ultimately, knowing myself will prevent me from being controlled or governed by that, external collective, or, that external spell or thought, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or external emotion, you know what I'm saying, by my own awareness, you know what I'm saying. And then also another aspect to protect yourself is be aware of the subtleties around you, you know what I'm saying? So being aware of the subtle words and actions in your environment, you know what I'm saying? Again, as I was saying previously too, and being aware to assess yourself, on how to, again, like check down on yourself to see, if you're in alignment with, who you are, and not just doing things randomly, from picking up on what you're feeling in the energy field. Because again, like that's the whole aspect to, you know, we talk about quote unquote schizophrenia, or, you know, when we, you know, some of us get into spirituality, you know what I'm saying, and the whole thing, oh, crown chakra, like, because again, we taught to just hurry up and get to the top. Crown chakra, first eye, gotta open that first eye, gotta peep game with the extrasensory perception, without, you know, getting the full story of like, hey, you know, you gotta work with the root chakra and work your way up. You know what I'm saying? Be grounded, because just like a tree doesn't grow branches first and then grow itself in the ground to stand itself up. You know, it starts from a seed in the ground, you know, growing roots and then growing up and out, you know what I'm saying? But starting from the roots, and the tree could only grow as tall as it only go as tall and more outward as much as its roots go deep and outward, you know what I'm saying? So again, and the same thing with, you know, when we talk about psychic protection, in essence, you know, again, you're just grounding yourself when you up in your high chakras and you're not grounded, you know what I'm saying? Your high chakras overspinning. You hearing telepathic messages from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And that also throws off your compassion. And I talked about that a while back, you know what I'm saying? About the certain beings, you know what I'm saying, where they had such a high level of telepathy and extrasensory perception, or in the level on the level of telepathy, you know what I'm saying, and just say a collective conscious, where it was basically impossible to miss somebody. You know, like, how can I miss you if I'm always connected to you telepathically and we always kind of talking, or, you know what I'm saying, connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess in essence, you know, you could somewhat miss a person's physical, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's like, because of that energy so strongly connected, it kind of prevented the energy of, like, you know, having like that, oh man, I really, really miss you. You know what I'm saying? Compare, you know, cause like I'm always seeing you in the astral planes or connecting, you know what I'm saying? So how can I, you know, miss you on that level, you know what I'm saying? But again, having to ground that energy and bring it in, you know, because again, like if a tree doesn't have roots strongly grounded in the wind, aka the air element, aka the thoughts and words, you know, that air, thoughts, words, spell, you know what I'm saying, that the air element, and even all the water element, you know what I'm saying, when the water come flooding through, the emotions or the subconscious come flooding through, but that tree still stands because it was sturdy, you know what I'm saying, and grounded, you know. So again, that's the strongest aspect, and that's why, you know, also one of my main things is like meditating a lot, clearing my mind a lot, coming in nature, you know what I'm saying, grounding, you know. But again, just being aware of the subtle words and actions in your environment. And also another aspect, you know, of protection, and again, like protecting your, you know, mind, body, and soul from any form of, you know, external spells, because again, they can have they could be felt, but ultimately, whether they govern your actions or not is up to how aware you are of yourself. Bam. But also, don't accept unsolicited readings. You know what I'm saying? Unsolicited tarot readings and things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you don't ask for it, you know, you shouldn't be like, why, you know, why you're, and even vice versa, because, you know, I didn't see myself do that before, you know what I'm saying, and realizing, like, you know, how that has like a certain level of toxic energy. Is like, you know, feeling like you gotta like be a psychic, like you just gotta psychically vomit to everybody, like, oh, you know, like you see a random person in the grocery store, like your aura is orange, and you know, your family, you know, this and that, like, you know, like go to giving a person basically like a reading, even though they didn't ask for it, you know what I'm saying? In certain moments, you know, like, yeah, we pick it, like we may be genuinely picking up on being meant to say something. And at the end of the day, if you say it, shit is meant. But for the most part, what I'm saying, unsolicited readings, what I'm saying, is definitely, something that you want to be aware of, what I'm saying? Like, don't have nobody, like, forcing, and say forcing, but again, like, you feeling like, again, if you didn't ask for it, then don't accept it, you know what I'm saying? Don't accept unsolicited readings. If you don't ask for it, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't listen. But that's basically it, again, just the aspect of protection from quote unquote witching and warlocking, the toxic ratchet witching and warlocking energy, that's being transmuted. But again, it's like having to come forth and speak on it, you know what I'm saying? Because again, it's not a popular position to call some of these things out, you know what I'm saying? Because again, yes, there is a level of, like I said, the spells, you know what I'm saying? Thoughts, words, emotions being felt, like what we could feel, thoughts, emotions, or words from our external realm. But again, ultimately, how you maneuver, you know what I'm saying, that's up to you, because again, even I see myself in a repetitive cycle due to, it may have been like a relationship with a narcissist, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I gotta just buckle down and see what it is I gotta do to stop this cycle, you know what I'm saying? I can't just like, of course you can try to say like, oh, well, it's just them and fuck that shit, but it's like, nah, it's me, and I was a vibrational match to that experience for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just like, oh, that was a mistake. The universe made a mistake. I wasn't supposed to go around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because literally that's what it's saying. It's like, oh, the universe made a mistake. I wasn't supposed to have that experience. It's like, it's like, no, you know what I'm saying? But, again, it's definitely a tough energy. But, I trust that, as I'm sharing this, it kind of creates that, and I say it's kind of, it already has, just by me sitting here and doing this video, to the point where even if I wasn't to post it, it would still have, that energy, that energy is going into the spaces, going into the ethers, of this awareness, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I trust that, again, like, this stepping into those initial steps of transmuting this energy, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we are the creators of our reality due to how we program our subconscious mind, and from the perspective of, also how we react or respond. Because ultimately, if one feels that you don't, like, everything's already set in stone to that extent, the one thing for sure, though, that you have control over is how you react or respond to a certain energy. You know what I'm saying? So being aware of how you respond, you know what I'm saying? Responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Your responsibility is your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But, again, having that accountability, to tap into the inner work, because whatever I'm attracting in my experience is due to some energy that's going on inside of me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole reason why somebody still goes to the doctor and take pharmaceuticals is because of certain beliefs or something going on inside of them. Now, of course, yeah, the spell ultimately casted by the government to, like, hey, this is the only way, you know what I'm saying? But, I forgot where I was going with that example. The message has been brought through fully. So anything else would just be messing up the message. So anyway, peace, you know what I'm saying? Integrity, wholeness, presence, being present in our now moment, you know, being resilient, knowing that, your inner being is constantly looking out for your highest good. And the only thing that could stop that is you listening to a thought that would tell you otherwise. We're just going to leave it at that. Now, as a vibrate, not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now. Peace, y'all.